Hello and welcome. We're at the track covering the Sport of Kings. Coming up, the 2018 Jamaica Diamond Mile serves up the most dramatic stakes event in 6 decades of horse racing at Caymanas Park. As the hot favourite and reigning horse of the year, She's a Man-Eater prematurely breaks out of the starting gates and is scratched. And that was only part of a mesmeric afternoon of CARICOM's richest horse race. And in TNT, the gelding Whisper Light snaps an 11-race winless streak with a fine win in the Stewards Cup at Santa Rosa Park. First to Jamaica. And where the drama all started, 14 of the 16 horses already loaded for the Diamond Mile, with a purse of US $115,000 topping the US $112,000 Sandalane Barbados Gold Cup as the English-speaking Caribbean's richest horse race. In the 11 box, the 3-year-old Peking Cruise becomes fractious and rails viciously, triggering on his outside in post position 12. Evasive action from She's a Man-Eater and her rider, champion jockey Omar Walker, hastily dismounts, and the super filly bursts through the front of the gates and canters away before being caught. Several minutes later on the infield, she is declared a late non-starter along with Peking Cruise, who hurt himself in the gates. The field that eventually started after a 17-minute race delay, the one horse She's a Man-Eater's younger brother, without exception, a 72-1 bet for champion trainer Wayne DaCosta. 2, Big Daddy Cool, the Diamond Mile runner-up 2 years in a row. The 5-2 second favourite for trainer Anthony Nunes and Trini owner Stefan Narayan Singh. Number 6, Drone Strike, the Derby winner at 34-1. Number 8, Robert Pearson's Will in Charge, the new favourite at 3-5. Number 10, the Gold Cup runner-up, Another Bullet at 20-1. Richard Azan's consistent Money Magnet, number 13, showing at 12-1 odds here. And also good betting for Dwight Chen's Caribbean Sprint Championship winner, number 15, Chase the Great. In the come box, Bran Rickman.
They're off for the Diamond Mile. A fierce start. Chase the Great comes away wanting that lead as they set moderate fractions. Mr. Universe now breezing past as they leave the 7, and it's Mr. Universe who has that lead over Chase the Great, Money Magnet and Disability Charm. Will in Charge sensibly kept off those fractions, without exception in the red cap racing on the rail. Another Bullet racing on the outside of Drone Strike. A gap of some 3 lengths opens up to Drummer Boy, narrowly in front of Big Daddy Cool. Sarah Lee is next with Hovercraft overtaking and Perfect Neighbor left at the back. They run to the half mile in the Diamond Mile, and it's Mr. Universe continuing to set those splits. Money Magnet now asked to close up. Chase the Great on the outside. Disability Charm stalks them. Will in Charge now stoked up and begins to get going. Another Bullet racing on the tail end of that group. A huge gap back to Drummer Boy, without exception going nowhere. Caught now by Hovercraft. Big Daddy Cool has a mountain to climb, and that mountain is Mount Everest, as they've left the 5/16th and are about to come into the lane, and it is Chase the Great now battling to hold that lead. Chase the Great out in front. Will in Charge trying to cut into that lead on the outside. Money Magnet is over on the rail. Mr. Universe has cried enough. Another Bullet in the center and Disability Charm out wide, and now the favourite Will in Charge takes charge. On the run, passing the 16th pole, it's Will in Charge rolling home under Robert Alladine. Big Daddy Cool is storming home. Will in Charge, the rider went to sleep. Big Daddy Cool has flashed past. It's close.
At the finish, desperately close, real time to the naked eye, the result inconclusive. And here's why. Jockey Alladine aboard the favourite Will in Charge thinks it's all over and pretty much stops riding his mount, unaware of the fast-closing Big Daddy Cool, who came off the final turn in 8th position but started motoring through the field under jockey Dick Cardenas with his very strong inside run. He catches up with the leader but is not ahead of Will in Charge at the wire, and Alladine knows he almost paid a huge price for a grave mistake.
Move was a premature move. It was very stupid. I think because Man-Eater was scratched out the race, I was super confident.
Will in Charge in front at the end by a short head, with Alladine up as the 3-5 favourite for 5 wins from 7 starts this year. Big Daddy Cool, for a remarkable 3rd year in a row, is second in the Diamond Mile, and Chase the Great is third, a further 4.5 lengths behind. The winning time, 1 minute 37 seconds even, for owner WB Racing and trainer Robert Pearson, who had a lot to say about his big 5-year-old racer, but not many words about his rider's performance.
Oh, I almost had a heart attack. But I'm glad he held on. And unfortunate for she's and Manita to lose that way. Nobody wants to lose a race like that or win a race like that way. But we're just happy for the win. We have been working the entire year to get this victory. And to cap it off with a win in the Diamond Mile is just all we've been working for.
She's a man-eater, not surprisingly, even in her absence, captured the headlines in the race reviews, scripting a chain of events that ruined her chance to repeat as champion and snapped DaCosta's unbeaten run in the Diamond Mile.
Well, first, total disbelief of what was taking place. And then after a couple of minutes when she was finally caught, the gut-wrenching feeling that something that could have been prevented was not.
She's a Man-Eater had been a 3-5 favourite when she was scratched. Fortunately, with the field not yet under the starter's orders, bets on her were refunded. But trainer DaCosta has a recommendation of increasing the number of starting gate attendants to prevent a recurrence.
There was not enough gatemen at the gate to prevent what had happened, because had they been standing up behind the starting gates when the incident happened, they could have pulled the back of the gates and she could have been reversed out. They never had enough people there, because at the time there were 2 horses left to go into the gate, and those gatemen were occupied with loading those 2 horses.
The riveting Trainers' Championship battle was also impacted by Saturday's bizarre incident, and with DaCosta's bid for a record 18th Trainers' title hitting an unwanted obstacle, its newness now moving from number 2 in the standings fairly firmly to the top spot after Big Daddy Cool's Jamaica $2.2 million take as a runner-up. After finishing second to DaCosta a remarkable 10 times in the last 13 years for the Trainers' Championship, Nunes, with just 6 race days remaining, now has his best chance to land his first title, currently at just over US $469,000 in stakes, more than US $7,000 ahead of DaCosta. Now to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, not since September last year has the US-bred Whisper Light entered the winner's enclosure at Santa Rosa Park. But that would change on Saturday with a fine victory in the Stewards Cup. Here's Nick Chady's call.
Just over a half mile to go. Rocket Wheels has company now on the front end in the form of Whisper Light and Pause for Cars. Smoking Like a Rockstar behind them, running 4th. This one's run up to 5th, and he's getting going. He's rolling into 4th now as This One's for On. Stockyard is back in the 6th position, followed on by Magical Victory toward the back of the pack. Rocket Wheels still in front. Rocket Wheels shakes off here. Approaching the quarter pole, she's in front by 1 length now to Whisper Light. Pause for Cars is 3rd. This One's for On, a threatening presence toward the outside in the pink cap. Here they come in the Extra Food Stewards Cup. Rocket Wheels trying to hold off Whisper Light, who's coming back. This One's for On, rolls into 3rd, needs to find 3 lengths. Pause her cause is there. Rocket Wheels holding on tenaciously. Here's Whisper Light now asserting himself, and he's going to go on and win it here. Here's Whisper Light. Whisper Light will take the Extra Foods Stewards Cup.
Taking full command in deep stretch, the US-bred 5-year-old gelding attempts to pull himself up close to the finish, but jockey Kellowan doesn't panic and takes his feet out of the stirrups for the clumsy but unchallenged victory.
That's basically road to train. I tell me, say if anybody wants to lead more than me, let them go and just sit and wait. And when I ready to make my move, just get aggressive on him.
Whisper Light earns his first win in 14 months in scoring in the 2017 Diamond Stakes as the 7-2 bet chased by the 4-5 favourite and horse of the year This One's for On. 1:13.28 the winning time in a fine tune-up for the Gold Cup on Boxing Day.
He broke well and he just started tracking the pace. He's a strange horse. As you saw just before the post, he tried to get up to some semantics there, but Dylan knows him well enough and he did what he had to do.
An update now before we go on the Barbadian riding ace. Patrick Husbands, the record 8-time Sovereign Award winner as Canada's Jockey of the Year, now going through rehab after surgery for a broken pelvis he suffered in a fall at Toronto's Woodbine on the 5th of November. The 45-year-old top jockey spent several weeks in hospital at Canada's Sunnybrook Centre, where he underwent surgery for pelvic fractures. Among those monitoring his progress, his young daughter Charity, who offered as much assistance as she could. Now, with intentions of returning to race riding next year, Husbands is going through rehab at the West Park Healthcare Centre in Toronto. Exercises to gradually get his lower body strength back while preparing to walk again. And mounting thoroughbreds again for the chance to increase his 3,285 career wins on tracks in Canada and the USA. We've been at the track covering top stories and exciting races in the sport of kings. Check us out again next week.